And we noticed some X-ray flaring going on, so I figured we'd look at some data, and something interesting has just occurred. Allow me to draw your attention over here to this rising active region. Let's let that play through again so I can show you what I'm talking about. There was another B-class X-ray flare, and I figured it came from sunspot 2732, but it does not appear to be the case, and it looks like there is some Earth-facing solar plasma ejected. Be able to see it on the LASCO C3 and watch this area as it plays through. You're going to see the X-ray flare pop out of this rising active region. Wait for it. Wait for it. And there you have it. This is what it looked like on the GOES X-ray flux instrument. And there's how it compares to what's been going on since the earlier video, which, by the way, took 10 minutes to upload and about 3 hours to process. Also, I would note that there's an ongoing connection-disconnection thing happening here, magnetically speaking, and it's obvious in the phi angle. See that? Also, the solar wind speed is dropped all the way down to about 300 kilometers per second. KP has gone up to 1 and gone back down to 0. And we did check the cosmic ray monitors, and they're actually, they've eased off. Most of them had a little spike, and now they've come back down. Electron flux is currently climbing. We'll keep an eye on that. And check out the F2 ionosphere layer. That is what we would call discharged as a mother. I mean, look at the size of this 1 megahertz blob here. It's gigantic. It's reaching all the way down below the equator. It's all the way from the North Pole to the equator. And the charged portion is only at 8 megahertz and barely even making it to 8 megahertz. I've also noticed some variations in the electron flux. There's your North American total electron content. Now, regarding the small coronal mass ejection that came off, you can't see it very well here on the LASCO C2. All right. You can kind of see it. There's a bit of a halo kind of a thing going on. If you look very closely, you'll be able to see. It's a lot more evident in the LASCO C3. Let me zoom out here. You can see plasma coming out in all directions, which means it's coming toward you. And there's also a strange pulsation going on. Not sure if that's errors, but when you see plasma spreading out of the center of this, all at the same rate, when you see plasma spreading out all at the same rate like this, that's an indication that it's coming directly toward you. It's not a lot, it's not a super large CME, but we're going to be looking at the data pretty closely on that. Also, volcanic activity has been continuing at a pretty alarming rate here. There's a lot of volcanoes going off all at the same time. Sabancaya is now sending ash up to 27,000 feet of altitude. Stromboli is actively blasting lava. Shivaluch, another 18,000 foot ash plume. what is that? Sakurajima, a 17,000-foot ash plume. Yeah. Krakatau, a fascinating article on Krakatau. 45,000-foot ash plume at Tukono. Serious volcanic uptick. But I draw your attention to this fascinating image. So, here's what Krakatau looked like before it exploded. See the caldera is this dark spot. And you see it's quite close to the coast, actually. If you look at frame 3 is like during the explosion. You can see it looks like the caldera is practically in the water. Notice the dark area is very close to the water's edge. If you look at frame 4, how's that for geoengineering? New land. Check it out. Let's check out some other views of this active rising region here. We'll look at 304 angstroms. There's a giant filament on the southwest. Oh, I see where the coronal mass ejection came from. It came from down here. There's a huge filament down there that got ejected. And there it goes. And that's Earth facing. Quite sure of it. So, the implications of that when it happens at the same time as a coronal hole wind stream is arriving could be significant, as they could accelerate each other. Alright, so the 304 angstroms view isn't showing very much for this rising active region here. Right about there, you're going to see it start to come up. Let's just look at it in 94 angstroms, as this has the highest temporal resolution. Oh, that's a great image of it right there. Let that play through once more. Thanks for watching. Fascinating stuff going on. Have a disaster plan. And remember, when you're waiting for coronal mass ejections to hit the planet, don't drink. And if you drink, drink heavily and don't drive.